Hello, y'all. Today is Wednesday, November 16th, 2022 at 12:34 p.m. So I'm just saying this for my records in case anything might happen. A few people on YouTube were saying to give it a chance, but there was one person, you know, in person, who was telling me that $275 apartment with all utilities paid sounds too good to be true. And he said it sounds too good to be true. And even though she said it's a small apartment with no kitchen, but it has a private bathroom and stuff. So I mean, this kind of raises eyebrows for me because I did some more talking to her, and I don't even know if people might be like, "Oh, well, you doing this video, you burned your bridges, or you blocked a blessing, or you knocked down a good blessing that could have happened for you, or whatever." But people are saying also to be suspicious and be careful, you, you know, um, or try to, when they say be suspicious, like raise eyebrows, and like if that's a light bulb that go off in your head, that's something kind of not right. The woman says she's like 73 years old, and she has a son and she has a dog. And even Lisa Ruby and Trisha, they hid behind religion or the Bible or Christianity to do that exploitation and abuse. So this lady's supposed to be a truther as well, or anti-New World Order. Now, I don't know. And then they prey on your desperation. I don't like that word paranoid, but if people say be paranoid or be suspicious or whatever, So I'm not even sure if I should upload this video or make it private. But um they might say, "Oh, you burned your bridges or you blocked your blessings." But I don't even know if she's a religious narcissist or not. I don't even know the lady that well, but it kind of raised eyebrows and caused red flags. Um, you know, so I'm not gonna say too much because the online perps gonna want to go to hunt for and investigate everything, and then go back and show everybody my videos or tell this, tell that. So if she's supposed to be a Christian or whatever, but it seemed as if she got angered at me telling her that I have a storage unit. So, and I have a nice bit of important stuff, in my storage unit. So I told her the idea that, because at first she was asking me for a way how to get up there. And she was asking me for a way how to get up there, and of course, I'm not saying she's one, but a lot of them come off as, the Lord put it in my heart to help you with this. The Lord, I don't know why, but the Lord put it on my heart to help you with this and this and that, whatever. And so if she said the Lord put it on her heart to offer to help me and stuff, and then at first she was asking me more like, I guess, to find my own way to get help with the way to get up there. And she told me, don't worry about trying to pay rent right now. Just focus on trying to get up there. And she told me to wait till next month to pay the rent there. But it made me feel a certain way, and it seemed pretty controlling, that she seemed like she got mad at me. And I don't know if she thought I was trying to play games when I said, I admitted to her that I said I do have a storage unit. And I said, well, try to figure out how to get my stuff from my storage unit to up there. And she had offered to pay for the flight. Like, at first she was trying to ask me if there's any way I can rent a car. I said no, but since I'm homeless and don't have a permanent address, she's like, well, how about if I, she's like, well, how about if I gave you the address and stuff like that? She's like, oh, but then you would have to print it out and sign it and stuff. So she was trying to figure out alternative ways to get me up there. So she said, well, here's the cheapest flight to get you up there, and it's it was $288.66 or something like that to get up there. And so then but she seemed like she got mad at me or irritated at me for talking about because I said that I would, probably just bring as little as possible and then get settled there and then go back later on once I get settled and then go back to Pensacola and then get my stuff out of the storage unit and clear out the storage unit and then go back to Colorado, and I've had to do that before. Like, I did that. I had to do that when I left Denton, Texas, and came back to and moved to Los Angeles. It took me a whole year after I got the storage unit and left Denton, Texas, and became homeless, and then ended up in Los Angeles, and then after I got a few months after I got the Section 8 housing, then I went back to Denton. It was Denton, Texas. I had to go back to Denton, Texas to go get all my stuff out of the storage unit. And then after that, I brought my stuff there. And even when I left New Orleans to come here to Pensacola, I had to leave my stuff in the storage unit. I already had that storage unit, but I had to leave my stuff there. I had to leave my stuff there, and then after a couple of months, then I went back to New Orleans and got all my stuff out of the storage unit there, and then transferred it to a storage unit here. But that lady, she seemed like she got mad at me or irritated. Like, she was like, she was hoping for me to go to Colorado leave Florida and never look back and make this like my one and only trip, and then I started to panic and get nervous, like, oh, well, how am I going to do this? So I don't even know if she would be trying to traffic me. Why would she? Either that, or why would she? That seemed pretty controlling. That seemed pretty controlling, and I'm like, well, if you're gonna act like that, then me and you ain't gonna get along, and there's gonna be some issues. So it's just like, well, she made it like as if she gonna pay for the flight, then then I better, more like be done with Pensacola and never look back and never set foot back in Florida. I mean, I really don't want to go up there anyway, and I really don't like cold weather, but I really don't like cold weather, and I really don't want to go up there anyway. But I am tired of suffering. I just want. I mean, me trying to get stabilized again. I already felt like I haven't told her, but I already felt like I wouldn't feel comfortable with the dog coming inside the apartment if I gotta live there. But some people are saying that the $275 a month with all utilities paid, and that sounds too good to be true, even though they don't have a kitchen. So yeah, I mean, I don't know why she got worked up and upset about my storage unit, and that made me feel kind of uncomfortable, and I started to panic. But she's like, "Oh, well, the earliest I can get you up here is November 23rd or whatever." So just like the thing with Trisha, I mean, I wasn't on YouTube. Well, I was, but I wasn't. Yeah, I did. Well, I mean, well, the TI community wasn't aware of me when I stayed by Lisa Ruby, and so that's why you things sound good, too good to be true, or might sound good, but I don't know if this lady might hide behind Christianity and want to groom me for human trafficking or sacrifice, and she probably used that dirt cheap rent as a way to try to bait me in. Either that, or she might be sincere. I mean, I don't know. I'm feeling confused. But even if I can't do that, it's difficult and frustrating. So I mean, I thought that I could just get help, donations, help with the Greyhound bus ticket, help from any of y'all, and then go up there with the a few of my belongings, like bare necessities, and get up there and then get settled, and then come back to Pensacola and go clear out my storage unit. I mean, that's how I envisioned it to happen. And then afterwards, like after next month, after I get settled and everything, then maybe January, I probably wouldn't be having to ask for help online no more, if I'd be settled and stabilized. But Lisa Ruby did me a whole lot of fucked up and dirty, but she gave me some food sometimes too. Not all the time, but sometimes. but she used it to manipulate and control me. You know, she really didn't take my money, but it's like Miss Lisa Ruby. She when I was in my hometown, New Orleans, visiting when I was living in Los Angeles, but visiting. Um, I was living in Los Angeles, but visiting my hometown, New Orleans, and when I told Lisa Ruby what my family members did to me, she booked I mean, not a flight. She booked the Greyhound ticket without me asking, and she would, you know, buy stuff for me against my consent without me asking, And so I felt trapped. Like, damn, I didn't ask for the I didn't ask for. I mean, and then people will call me ungrateful, but I didn't ask for Miss Lisa Ruby to send me a Greyhound ticket to South Carolina from New Orleans, and then she was exploitative and abusive and very controlling. You know, so I mean, if this lady was expecting to pay for me a ticket, I mean a plane ticket, I figured, well, I'm too fat for to fit in the seat belts on an airplane. But the Greyhound seemed like it would be slightly cheaper than the airplane. The Greyhound seemed like it got more expensive. I know inflation and all that, but yeah, I mean, but I don't know if this lady might be sincere, or she might be legit, or she might be, and I was told, you know, well, you got to give somebody a try, or you got to trust somebody. But I'm hoping she ain't preying on my desperation and poverty and homelessness and being on the streets and stuff. And and then you end up being damaged the worst, like what Trisha did to me. Because I mean, for me to clear, and that's what narcissistic abusers want me to do: sacrifice, having being punished with nothing. And I would hate that would drive me to insanity if I cleared out everything out of my storage unit and go up way up there, and then things don't work out, and then I end up back here in Pensacola, back in the same situation. But but even then, so if she want me to wait until next Wednesday, but she said that don't worry about paying rent until December. But you know I mean, there are some things that are certain important things that I need in my storage unit. I mean, there are some things I could get rid of and some trash, or certain things I may not need to use, but there are a lot of things that's very important. So I don't know now. But so I mean, if she want, I mean, I don't know if she gonna pay the plane ticket, or if there's any way for me to you know I mean, now I probably have 30 something dollars left, and then some of it's gonna go to dinner tonight, and then I have to check out the hotel room tomorrow and be back on the streets, and then have to panhandle and ask for help and be suffering and dealing with the cold weather for the next few days. I'm sitting here trying to figure things out, and I'm very sleepy. My right leg still hurts. My hips were hurting earlier when I went to eat breakfast. My food was cold. So, and then I don't even have anywhere to discard anything or throw anything away. um, you know, so I don't know if I should still try to pursue going up there, or if I should. I mean, I don't know. I'm having mixed feelings and I'm confused. But my main thing is, she want me to leave Pensacola, leave Florida, and make this my last trip and my own one and only trip, and never look back. And then she kind of make it like, well, oh, if I'm going to be paying for your flight, then it's like she kind of made it like as if she started to be distrustful just because I have a storage unit. I was at least honest, so she acted like she started to get suspicious and made it like she didn't trust me or whatever. But then she said, well, oh, I trust you, to pay for this flight for you or whatever. But then she's like, well, get rid of your storage unit or whatever, or make arrangements to do this, do that, whatever. And then let me know, and then I'll make the flight. And then I'll pay for the flight for you or whatever. So I don't know. I'm just really confused. But then again, she says she's supposed to be targeted as well. But I don't see many people only see like one or two people that's supposedly part of the TI community that's following her. But me and her been following each other for quite a long time, but we didn't talk that much. So it's kind of when it seems like when people be like, well, the Lord put on my heart to do this or say this to you, then they turn out to be religious narcs. And they're short fused with little. What the littlest thing will set them off and cause them to lose their temper. I didn't ask. Well, hey, can I come by your, well, she made that offer and suggested, for me to come out there and rent a place for dirt cheap with no kitchen and stuff, But I'm just, I don't want people to try to make like, oh, you being ungrateful or whatever. I'm just, being targeted. It's like I would get fooled. I would get called a fool if I took her bait and then something happened. Or if she would have set me up or something. If some of them pretend to be anti-New World Order, but then when you get into an altercation with them, they set you up to get locked up in jail or the mental institution. And then it's more devastating because they're supposed to be truthers or anti-New World Order as well, like Lisa Ruby and Trisha. So, I don't know. That pretty much made me upset. Like, oh man, like, what do I do now? So all I know is I have to be back on the streets broke tomorrow. Well, nearly broke tomorrow, and probably have enough for 1 or 2 meals tomorrow, and then be back on the streets if I didn't have any help to stay in a hotel room for the next few days, or have help to get up there. I mean, I don't even know if I should go up there. Maybe I'm taking her the wrong way. I don't know. So, and that's what I got harassed and bullied by the online perps after what happened with fake retarded Trisha. They falsely try to make it like as if I was the one who scammed and exploited a good Samaritan trying to help me, in which she played on that short story that I wrote and used that to exploit me and preyed on my homeless situation. And they manipulate and play all kinds of freaking games. So, I mean, I'm trying to be less draining on everybody else, and if that 275 a month, not a week, but a month, could have been like a way less burden. So I don't know.